Hey everybody, good evening. Hope you're ready to join me on a little bit of an adventure here. I'm sure you can probably hear sizzling in the background. I've already started cooking some of this just to give you guys a little bit of a head start. So what I've done is I've ordered a meal kit from Home Chef. There's a lot of meal kit choices out there. This is the one that I found we were able to schedule the date that it would be delivered, and we were able to plan ahead a little bit. We could actually pick some of the recipes. So I wanted to give this one a try. It's really kind of neat. The box showed up earlier today. Inside of it were 3 little packages like this. And inside are all of the ingredients you need to make your meal, including a recipe. I'm going to be doing 2 of those recipes here with you guys right now. In order to save some time, I kind of got some things rolling ahead. So we're going to be making some hot honey salmon and chicken adobo flautas. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Just to save some time, so you don't have to actually watch me while these things are cooking, I go ahead and I started searing the chicken and the salmon. So I'm going to actually pull those off the stove right now. And I'm going to follow, according to the recipe here, which I'm going to go through step by step with you. We start off with the chicken in a bowl, along with the shallots that came pre-delivered. And just kind of let them sit. And the recommendation is to set that aside and let that cool. So while we're working on that recipe, we've gotten a head start here. Saved about 15 minutes of time. You haven't to watch me do this there. And with the salmon, I'm going to take it and let's take a look at my recipe, make sure I do this correctly. Oh, it smells really good already. Taking the seared salmon, I'm putting it here on this tray. And I preheated my oven to 400 so we can get a nice head start on that. So let's put these in the oven here for about 7 to 10 minutes. Like I said, I preheated that to 400 degrees. We'll get this rolling. Now while we're doing that, we've already gotten a head start on the chicken. Let's go back to the chicken recipe. So here you are. As I said, all of the ingredients come prepackaged and ahead of time. And we're going to start right at the top. The first thing it says is to start the filling, which means we're going to pat the chicken breast dry, which we did. Place them in a nonstick pan with 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Add the breasts to the hot pan and cook them undisturbed, which is what we also did. Those have been in there for about 7 minutes. While it cooks, peel in half the shallot, which I already did, and I added in here. And when the chicken is brown, you flip. You add that in there, and after about 5 minutes or so, we're going to get in there. We're going to hand shred those, so we have a nice filling to go in there. While this is cooling, we're going to get to the salsa. So it came with some tomatoes. I went ahead and actually cut and diced them up ahead of time. And then according to this, it wants me to take the lime, which I have cut in half, and set aside some wedges. And I'm going to mince the cilantro, which came in this as well. So let's start there. Take a little package here, put it up, and we'll mince it up. Some folks out there aren't crazy about cilantro. I love it. I think it makes Southwestern foods taste really bright and fresh. It really gives it that Southern flair quality, I think, that Southwest flair quality. Tastes almost minty, but not quite. You know, some folks who really don't like it, they're giving it a bad taste. But I love the way it changes the flavors. I'm going to add the cilantro here. Mince that up. This is my first attempt at cooking on camera, so I don't necessarily have all of the best equipment. So I will be adding things as we go along each week. So here's the cilantro. I'll throw that in with our diced tomatoes. And while we're doing that, it is asking me to do, it's asking me to add the lime juice from the half of the lime. So I'll go ahead and I'll add that as well. I didn't bring a juicer or anything like that. I don't usually use those anyway. Just make sure my hands are clean when I start cooking and just kind of pulp it up. All right, here we are. Nice thing about an Everly kitchen, the trash is right here. And this is going to be set aside. While we're doing that, the directions ask us to make our aioli. So that is done with sour cream and a green chili aioli that they sent us ahead of time as part of the package. So just mix that into a separate bowl. So I have a mixing bowl here. And I've got my sour cream. Take the ends off of the sour cream here. And into the bowl it goes. Now, obviously, they send you these pre-portioned ingredients, but you do have the recipe. So if you like what you've done, you like how you've made it, and you know what the portions are, you can actually go ahead and make this again if this is something you wanted to do. There's our sour cream. Fork can take out the aioli here. Interesting. And we'll just mix it together with the fork so you get it nice. It doesn't have to be incredibly well blended, just mix it together. And then the directions say that this is where we are to assemble the flautas. So we have our aioli, we have our cilantro salsa. I have my chicken here, which has been cooling for a few minutes. I'm going to break that up by hand. And while I'm doing this, it also asks me to add the Sazon seasoning. Those of you who are not familiar with it, Sazon seasoning is something that you'll find in a lot of South American and Central American cultures. It's very popular. You can get it. Goya makes a great Sazon seasoning. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this is where they got it from. They sent me 2 pre-portioned packages. So I'm going to go ahead and add these in here while I'm separating them. Cut down far enough. Let's try that again. There we go. Well, this just gives us an opportunity to shred it up. It's going to turn the chicken into a nice golden color. Really, really fun and cool. You can already smell the flavors. Smell the spices and anticipation of these flavors. You can see it's been pretty well cooked. Still a little hot, but pretty well cooked, so it's falling apart pretty easily there. I'm going to let that cool just a little bit longer. A little hotter than I expected. And just to make sure that I'm doing this, so we're going to take the tortillas. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to add the filling and the cheese to the tortilla. According to this, then we roll it over and we put it back into the skillet. We're going to heat the skillet back up. We're going to add a little bit more olive oil, and we're going to cook them until they brown up. So let me get that going. A little bit of a head start with these here. That's broken up pretty well, so I'm going to add the other package to this. You can see that what I have here is this yellow chicken and shallot blend with the Sazon in there. And you can spice this up to taste. The recipe calls to add in pepper or additional salt if you wanted to. Let's see if we can get a good look at that right there. So now we've got our mix here made. Split apart. You might want to go at that if you get a little bit more time, or maybe a couple of forks and just kind of pull it apart like a pulled chicken, like a jerk recipe sort of thing. Now we're going to start putting these together. I'm going to come back to my skillet, add a couple more teaspoons of olive oil, and see how well I measured that. Turn the heat on. And this, I probably would say around medium. It doesn't really say. It says return it. No, it does. It says cook. Return pan used to cook the chicken to medium heat Add 2 teaspoons of oil and working in batches, place the flautas in the hot pan, seam side down. So we're going to cook it until it's browned on one side. So we're going to take this and add our chicken. This really needs a little chicken, goes a long way. This is actually 2 chicken breasts that came pre-portioned for this. Now, you'll see in some traditional Southwest Mexican cooking, they like to fold the ends in. We're not going to do that. We're just going to roll it. They actually just roll it in the recipe here. So we take that, we get some of the cheese they sent along with us, add some cheese to that there. We'll roll it over onto itself. I'm going to take it seam side down. Hopefully you can hear that already sizzling. We can start on another one right here. I apologize. I see some comments on there. I don't have my glasses on, and the TV screen's a little far away, so it's hard for me to be able to read those. But I will get back to you, I promise. Just about enough room in my pan to make 4. So we'll make 4 for now, and I'll make the others at another time. All right, so we'll let those cook up a little bit. And yes, this is a little bit of an experiment on my part. Let's see how things turn out. Now, I did say we were going to try 2 recipes. So while those are cooking, I will return to those shortly. While those are cooking, let's take a look at the salmon recipe. Now, the salmon, this is a hot honey salmon. And it asks that we prepare the ingredients ahead of time. So that we take some zucchini, have them which they sent along with us. You hack it lengthwise. And you slice it into angled wedges there. In addition to that, we want to halve these tomatoes. They sent us a bunch of cherry tomatoes, so we'll go ahead and we'll halve those right now. And then we're going to trim and slice portions of green onion that they also sent along. And again, these were sent along in the box, so I haven't had to go out for any of this stuff. The only stuff I've had to provide so far are the cooking utensils, the pans, and the olive oil. If you're not a fan of olive oil or you don't have olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, you can use any type of cooking oil. Olive oil does have a pretty nice and unique flavor to it, but any type of cooking oil will do. So here we are, we're halving the tomatoes. And then according to this, we take our green onions, and we slice the white portions only into 1-inch lengths. So, cut up there. 1 inch. Yep, this would be 1, 2, 3. There we go. We're going to save the greens. All right. Now the salmon has already been placed in a pan and seared, which you saw me do, and then we place into the oven. That should just about be ready right now, so we're going to pull that out of the oven here. Well, it looks great. It smells great, too. You're about to see me do something that shows you how well prepared I am for this. I have no oven mitts. So we're going to pull it out with a little paper towel. Don't do this enough. There they are. They look great. And I'm gonna, while I'm waiting on that to cool a little bit, I'm gonna go back to my chicken flautas and see what I do. And they're a little overdone, but we are learning together, aren't we? So the first time around, they're a little overdone. It's all right. We know how to do this going forward. I'm going to turn on my fan. We'll trim those edges off. Part of that is me getting a little distracted and trying to do too much all at once. But you can see, like I said, I'm doing this along with you and I'm learning as we go along. So we'll revisit that in a few minutes. In the meantime, let's put our focus on the salmon right now. Make sure we get that correct. So we're going to make, according to this, the hot honey butter. So this asks me to take another bowl, clear off all my debris here. And we're going to make hot honey butter. The way this is done is we're going to take the softened butter, the honey, and the red pepper flakes that they sent to us. So here they sent me a little packet of honey. There. And then we're going to add the softened butter right here. It's funny, they just sent me 2 butter pats in the recipe. And then the last thing I'm going to add to this little mix here is the crushed red pepper that they gave me a free portion of. And for this, all I have to do is kind of mash it together with a fork. And that's what we're going to put a dollop of on top of our salmon once we're ready to plate that up. And then we'll return to the chicken flautas and see if I can get it right next time around. So here you are. Just took my fork, mixed it all together. Not a lot there, but enough to dress your 2 salmon fillets. Next thing it asks me to do is to take these vegetables and put them into a frying pan. So join me on that if you would. Remove this off here. Look how beautiful that salmon came out. Great. Here. In the meantime, I'll move over here. Make sure I do this right. More olive oil, zucchini to the hot pan. We're going to stir it for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add the tomatoes and the green onions. And then while that's cooking, we're going to plate up our salmon. So we started with the zucchini. I'm actually going to go ahead and cut up the second piece of zucchini. How much do you want to bet some of those comments that I can't read are telling me to turn around and check my flowers out? Let's let that stir a little bit. Probably. Maybe. One of these beautiful salmon fillets right here. Add a dollop of the hot honey butter right on top. It has a chance to kind of seep in, to soak in while our vegetables cook. While that's happening, I'm going to come on over and take a look at some of these comments and see what we've got going on. I see a few folks who poked in and said hi. No, Priscilla, I don't deliver. Nice of you guys to join us on these. I agree. I love cilantro. And no, I can't deliver. Sorry. What am I making? Well, if you joined me a little bit late, I'll tell you. So what I've got is I've got 2 recipes coming that I'm making. They came in from Home Chef. And I'm encouraging my residents here at Everly Cape Cod, which is where this kitchen is located, to try and join. They join Home Chef with us and have the same meals delivered to you. We can make them together. The 2 meals I'm making today, the first one is a hot honey salmon. And the second one is chicken adobo flautas. And everything went really great with the flautas until I tried to sear them a little bit. They got a little overdone. I'll show you my little mistake there, but I'll make those over again. In the meantime, I've got the hot honey salmon going on. I'm just going to stir up some of my vegetables and make sure they cook well. The zucchini could take up to 5, 6, 7 minutes for it to really be ready while it's cooking there in the olive oil. And then I'm going to add the tomatoes, the green onions, and the seasoning package that they also sent. I'm backing off on the zucchini a little bit because I wanted to save a little bit of time. But I am going to go back to these flautas and see if I can try it again. So these are, for somebody cooking at home, these are absolutely salvageable. For a guy doing a cooking show, not so much. I would just cut the edges off and eat them, but that's all right. We're going to try them again anyway. We're going to try and get them. These are coming home with me, so I'm just going to trim them off. I like it well done anyway. So set these aside in the redo pile. We'll try this again. Slightly lower heat. Still getting used to this kitchen. So we'll try here again. Take the flautas, take your chicken mixture, use that as your filling, add some of the cheese that came with the package, roll it up, seam side down, and it goes. Do the same thing with this other one. Last of my 3-portion chicken. Look at that. They sent me just enough to make 6 of these. Just enough chicken, just enough cheese. Perfect. That one. I'll put this in here to sear as well. The zucchini on the other hand is frying up nicely. You don't use zucchini very often, you know it's done when it becomes a little bit more translucent. You can't see it, it looks still white or light green. It's not ready. You want to get it sort of softened up a bit. So it looks also considered good. You can already tell these flautas are going to do a little bit better than the last one. Let me get my plate ready for those. If any of you folks have any questions or are curious about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it, or if you've got recommendations, I'm new at this. I'm a novice. I opened a box, took out the ingredients, and I'm just throwing them into a pan. I love cooking, but it doesn't necessarily mean I've got these kind of recipes at my fingertips. So I definitely welcome words of encouragement are always welcome, and advice, techniques, different thoughts. Feel free to add them in. I'm going to be doing this every week on a Friday. The target start time is 5 o'clock. I don't always hit that start time, but I try. And if any of you want to join me in making these meals as well, reach out to me and I'll give you one of the referral codes for our home chef. You get a nice discount. I get a discount on my next meal. We all kind of win. It was really cool when I opened up my box today for the very first time, and I pulled out three of these envelopes. This is the third recipe. I'm not making this tonight. Don't worry. Here's a recipe for steak strip provolone pretzel roll sandwich. And you can see everything I need is in this bag, including potatoes, mayonnaise, shallots, all the fixings. It's all right there. Now these are stirred. I'm going to take a look here. Oh, this is coming out much, much better. That's what it's supposed to look like. That nice brown edge that you see right there. Nice golden brown. Like I said, I'm a novice, so not so much this time around. Here it looks like we're getting it right. Let's sear it a little bit on that side. My zucchini is just about translucent there. It's been cooking for a couple of minutes. It's starting to sear on the other side. That's a good, I can get a nice aroma from it too. We're going to keep cooking it, so I'm not done with this. It doesn't have to be completely cooked. Right now, according to the recipe, we're going to add the tomatoes and the white onion pieces that we added from before. Or that we had from before. And then the last instruction was to add this spice packet, which, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what these spices are. It's not labeled like the Saison Plus. It just comes in on the recipe. It says spice packet. So here's a little adventure for all of us. I think they mixed it up special at home chef, probably by their chefs there who put these recipes together in the first place, because it came in a little Ziploc bag as opposed to a pre-sealed bag. So what I've got in here. That around. It's nice, it's a beautiful, savory smell coming up in here. If I had to guess, there's some Italian seasonings in here. You definitely smell the basil and oregano. There might be some rosemary, maybe just some milk. So while those are finishing up, let's take a look at my flautas, see how those came out. Got a nice brown on both sides. And then for this, according to the recipe, all we're going to do is let's go back to the recipe and make sure I get it right. We're going to take our salsa, which we made earlier, our lime juice and our tomato, drape it over the top. And then we are going to take our aioli, add some here, and there you have your chicken flautas right there. And if you make them correctly, you should have enough for at least 2 people. I'll get a meal out of that. Going back to our salmon, you can see I put that butter on top of it, and that butter has had a chance to kind of seep in and melt a little bit. We're going to dress this on the side with our vegetables. I'm going to check my recipe and make sure I'm making it look just the way it's supposed to. Looks pretty good to me, my friends. So here you go. There's your salmon meal. So not so bad. We've got 2 home chef meals in less than a half an hour that we made together. Again, If you sign up for the box, you can order these. Next week we'll have a different set of recipes that will be coming in. You can always tweak the recipes, change them however you want, add spices, seasoning, flavors to your taste. I know in my kitchen at home, there are a lot of different spices that I might have thrown in or added to these, but everything we have literally came out of the box. The only thing I have here that I did not use that came out of the box that came today is the olive oil that I used. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I sure had a lot of fun putting these together, including making a couple of mistakes.